And we are back.
We're back, your favorite host.
We're back. Not just
I know, in this summer heat.
So a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. So welcome to the Strategic Shift.
Hello.
Your two hosts,
Diane.
And Priscilla. What are we
Thank you.
talking about today?
Today we are talking about dating in Las Vegas in the 2025 era.
I don't think I've been on a date in like 20 years.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes. I've not been on
Your
a date.
friend never, I'm sure you guys went out to dinner or something.
Yeah, but like,
That's a date.
that's not a date.
Okay, well, let's talk about, what is
Let's
considered a
define
date?
dating.
Yeah,
Let's
define
start there.
dating. Okay, what's a date to you?
I don't know. I feel like somebody asks you out, they pick you up, you go do something. Or, I mean, you can have dates where you're not like going somewhere, right? Like maybe like you watch movies at home or something. But I don't know. I feel like to be a date, there has to be some type of effort in it.
Okay, well, to me, dating, I don't let anybody pick me up. I have been robbed a couple times.
Really?
Yes, and I don't let people know where I live. Plus I have a daughter, and if anybody comes creeping around, I don't want to have to off them. So to avoid any kind of, and I've had a stalker. So I don't let people know where I live. They can't pick me up. We're going to meet because in case I don't like them, I want to be able to jump in my car.
Is it like daytime, nighttime?
Both.
Do you think that matters?
Yeah, lunch date, coffee date. A date to me is, you're meeting somebody, you're getting to know them. And, it's like to see if you have chemistry type of thing.
Okay. Well, I guess like the romanticized version, right, is like all this extra effort that goes into it. And I can say like, there's just been so many different situations in my life that I don't think I've had. Well, one, I haven't had like a ton of relationships to like draw from, even like casual relationships. Like I don't compartmentalize in my life very well. Like my circle is small, but it's a very high quality circle. And I don't have a lot of like limits to what areas of my life they have access to. So I don't like to just meet random people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whether you meet them in a place or like if somebody was to introduce you, you still don't know them. You still got to get to know them. They could still be crazy.
Yes.
So I mean, I've heard success stories from online dating, like people that have actually met the love of their life, and then I've heard some nightmares too. And I mean, I do online dating. I was introduced to online dating because my ex-boyfriend, I caught him online dating. So that made me get on there and was like, let me see what this is about, And I don't really date. I kind of use it as a networking tool for me. Networking, because I don't get out. I don't meet people. So it's a way of me meeting people without actually having to get out and meet them or kind of see what they're about without actually having to meet them. So it's fun. I mean,
so I tried online dating twice. The first time I was in college, and it resulted in a restraining order.
Really?
This guy that I ended up like dating was like, well, one, I made some really poor choices. Right. Like after a short amount of time of us dating, like he talked me into buying a motorcycle and he was teaching me how to ride it. And then he got in an accident
on
that motorcycle. And then like when we broke up, he wouldn't give it back to me. And it was like all this like, and at the end I was like, this was an epic fail. So then I was like, never again. And then after I got divorced, my sister-in-laws and some friends were like, you have to get back out there. You're young. And they made me get on the apps. And I was like, there's pee in the water.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is not for me. So it lasted maybe like
it's very scary nowadays, So I had a client come into my shop one day and she was telling me about a Facebook group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? Las
I have a
Vegas.
friend, yes,
Yeah.
who told me about that.
And I said, no, I never heard of it. So, of course, I get on there immediately. And when I tell you it is one of the most entertaining, there's actually two of them because I got kicked off of one of them because
it is entertaining.
Yeah. And I was actually kind of sad because, you know, I would look on there every day and I would see people on there.
Oh, that you saw on the app?
Oh, yeah. I seen people that I knew, that guys that tried to date me, guys that were trying to talk to me. Yeah, I seen them on there.
So okay, I think of online dating as like a marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Like women put themselves out there, men, like regardless of preference, all that. We won't get into all that, right? So is it really wrong for one vendor to test out multiple potential clients?
No. I mean, how else are you going to meet people?
And
yeah, I mean, now if you're doing, there's nothing wrong with actually getting to know a lot of people, but I guess doing the empty promising, the conniving when you have bad intentions.
Do you think people get attached too quickly? Now, I know that there's some scumbags that are like, oh yeah, you and I were together. We've been together for 5 years and now I'm online dating, but you have no idea, right? Like, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones where it's like we went on 2 dates and now some girl is mad because.
Oh, well, I mean, again, you know, I mean, when you move to a city, you meet new people, and I'm sure they've been dating somebody previous. You know, everybody talks to somebody unless they've been totally segregated and not around anybody and they're just by themselves. No, but I look at somebody like they were talking to somebody before you, they're going to be talking to somebody after you, and if you're not married and there's not a real commitment, then there's probably somebody still there.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I think, and I kind of treat it accordingly. I'm not going to ask questions unless I was to like really want to take it serious, and then, you know, hey, we need to talk about it. But if you're just dating, getting to know somebody, I mean, I think it's fair for them to be able to talk to other women. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. Like, there has to be a point, though, if there's like a desire for it to be, where there's like an actual conversation.
Yes, it has to be.
That's the part I've always been really bad at.
Conversation?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm not really good with the whole commitment where it just sounds funny when I say, oh, my man or my boyfriend. I don't say my boyfriend because I'm a grown woman. I don't deal with boys. But to even say, oh, that's my man, it's just weird to me. For me,
all of it. So I have a friend, shout out to Shannon. She has been in a committed relationship for years. And I was telling her, like, this is just like, you know, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I'm a whole adult. I own businesses. I'm raising a child. Like, I can't say like boyfriend or my man. Same thing as you. She's like, well, what about partner? And I'm like,
I like partner.
Yeah, but even that like
like
sounds
partner.
So like informal.
Is that bad that I would be okay with partner?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You know what for me was hard is when I first is being divorced, right? And going from like the title and the respect that comes with being a wife to then going backwards, is almost like, do I really tell people that I'm like this old and I have a whole life and like it's just me?
Oh, see, I don't care. I'm 47 and I've never been married. I've never even been close to getting married, and I don't feel bad about it. Like, not at all. And, you know, even my daughter's like, well, Mom, I want you to get a husband. I'm like, some people don't get married. You know, that doesn't define me. That doesn't, you know, take away from who I am and my goal in life. Like,
I think upbringing has to do with it.
Yeah.
I come from you know, our family was really, really poor, but very close knit. Like my grandparents started dating when they were like, my grandma was 14 when she started dating my granddad.
Wow.
And she will be 80 this year, and they're still together.
That's amazing. See, that is beautiful.
Now, they've had some dysfunction.
How not?
Throughout the years. Yeah. And she talks about how back in like the 50s and 60s, he's like riding a motorcycle and like, you know, running around on her. And like, obviously that's not, and my granddad is like ultimate girl dad, ultimate granddad, like all about his family. And my mom, high school pregnancy, and then eventually she married my stepdad, and they've been together since I was like 2 years old.
Yeah.
So for me, like all I've ever known is like long-term committed relationships. Yeah. So like the dating thing is not something that I'm super comfortable with.
And I agree. It does have a lot to do with upbringing. When you are with a tight-knit family like that, that's what you want. That's, you know, who wouldn't want to be with a partner, you know, somebody for 80 years that you know is going to be there with you through the thick and thin. Who wouldn't want that, you know? Mm-hmm. But in reality, it's just, I mean, it still happens, but it's not like how it was before, you know, unfortunately. But me too. My grandmother, you know, she was with her husband for I don't know how many years. Like all my aunts are with the same man. Like my brother, my dad's sisters, they're all with their high school boyfriend. You know, my cousin, he's been with the same woman since he was 15. Like, you know, it definitely, you know, is in my family, but I watched my dad fall, you know, lose the love of his life and never having another love like that. You know, yeah, he dated with other women, but he never.
They would have been together forever.
Yeah, well, somewhat. Yeah, they loved each other for sure because they went through thick and thin to be together, especially, you know, in the 70s. But yeah, so it, you know, you could find that love of your life and something tragic happened and then you might not find it again. Then what do? Is life over? Like, do you stop living? Because no, I mean, you got to continue to, you know, make your life count.
What do you think is like the purpose of dating?
I think that everybody, there's connection and people have chemistry, you know, but they're a soulmate, you know, like there's somebody that not only do you have chemistry with, but, you know, you feel stable with them. I mean, there's, you know, there's reasons why people meet. I always ask, like when I see people that are happy, I always ask them, like, how did you guys meet? Because it's very interesting to me on how two people fall in love out of the billions of people. Like, how did they meet and how did they know that was the right person? And they just do. Some people, like, it catches them off guard. And then there's some people that they just know right off the bat. Like, oh, my God, I really love this person. But, again, you know, some people can fall in love and fall out of love. You know, because they've changed or something drastic happened. And you can't be mad at them for that. You know, because people, I mean, we all have our own right to our story. So if you love somebody one day and then you fall out of love with them the next, that's okay, you know, but it's also, again, the way you do it, how you treat that person.
I don't think that people, you just said, like, if you fall out of love, I don't think that you fall out of love. I think that for me, exactly, you know, I come from divorce, right? And to some extent, everybody has had like the rise and the fall of a relationship. Especially nowadays, it's rare that like people are with the same one person that they dated for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. But I think what happens is no matter how in love you are with someone, there has to be a level of respect. There has to be a level of commitment.
Communication.
Yes. And you have to know, like, this is a priority. This is a choice, right?
Right.
And then once you have that, it's like a daily work to stay in relationship. And that's for any relationship, romantic or otherwise, you know. It has to be mutually beneficial, whether it's emotional or financial or, you know, they're just so complex that I think over time, when one or both people you don't have that respect or that level of priority, eventually it does like crumble.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like anything else, you know. It's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be times when it's great. I mean, even with raising a kid, you know, there's times when you're like, wow, this is wonderful. I love being a mother. And then there's times when you're like,
whose kid is that?
Like, this is what it's about? Like, people have 5, 4, like, they have more than one? Like, it's crazy.
There have been times, I actually told this at my Pilates class earlier. There was a time where I got a call from my son's school, and I literally sat in the parking lot crying, like, how did we get here? Like, I was mortified. And I think the school took pity upon him and didn't kick him out because they could feel my pain in that moment. We have like gone way farther and than where we were. That was like a year ago. But yes, the moment.
So it is. I mean, that's with any relationship. I mean, I even have girlfriends that I've been friends with for like 20 years. And we don't agree. I mean, I have one friend that we've been friends for over 27 years, and we never got into any kind of argument ever. We lived together, we worked together, we just got along. You know what I mean? 'Cause she was a very brutally honest girl, friend, and I was brutally honest, and it just worked. And then I have friends that we argue about the color of the sky. No, it's green. It's blue green. No, girl. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And I'm like, why? But I know where their heart is. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know my friend has a good heart, but damn, like, she just wants to argue about everything. You know?
My 2 best friends are men. And we have been friends since we were little kids. And we bicker. Anyone who's in the room with us is like, damn, do y'all, like, they clown me, I clown them. Yes. Like, there is nothing that is sacred.
Right.
And they have not always approved of my choices in men, and they're very vocal. I remember specifically with one of them, because he was my maid of honor when I got married. On my wedding day, he was like, you should not be marrying him. And I was... Because I had, like, the big fancy wedding. I was in, like, I came in a horse-drawn carriage and fireworks. On your wedding. And he's, like, stuffing my Cinderella dress into this carriage. I'm literally about to, like, pull up to the church. And he's like, hey, you don't have to do this. We could just have a big old party.
Oh, my
We're in a foreign country. I got married. And I was like, stop saying that. He's like, look, I got your back. If you want me to, like,
that's horrible.
Oh my gosh, it was horrible. It was horrible. And then when I'm like, oh, okay.
And then you're thinking that while you're driving over there to the altar.
Oh my gosh. And, you know, but still was my maid of honor, still stood by me through the whole thing. And I remember going through my divorce and he's like, remember I told you not to marry this guy? I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to live this down. And so sometimes I start conversations with, listen, I don't want to hear your righteousness and you're judging me. But I got to tell you what just happened.
Right.
We have but there's a lot of bantering.
Yeah. Question:
what role have your friends had, if they've had any, with like your dating history?
So I've only actually, I mean, I've dated, you know, obviously I'm 47. I've been dating quite a while, but to actually really say like, hey, I really care about this person. I'm in love. I want to be with this person. I've only had that twice. And the first one, my friend actually hooked me up with him. So she, you know, and he turned out to be a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. But we're still friends, and I still talk to him, and my friends that actually know him say has no emotion. He's emotionless. But the funny thing is, not with me. You know, I see a whole other side of him that nobody sees and nobody really understands it. But no, I wouldn't say they agree with the guys I had. But on the other hand, I wouldn't take advice from them because the guys they had were horrible. Like, so it's very
the
hard.
blind leading the blind. You know, if I'm actually looking, and not to throw shade, but my two in particular, y'all know that you don't have the strongest of relationship history either. So stop judging me.
Right. So
I have a look. For me, like, they've always played this role because one, we've been friends since we were kids. We've transformed and gone through different life stages and death and obviously marriage and divorce, and we all, not all of us, but two of us have kids, and like we've transitioned in the workplace, like just so many life experiences, right? I'm extremely close with my family and I'm extremely close with my friends. Whoever comes into my sphere, not right away, but I have to be able to bring them in. They don't have to love the people in my sphere as much as I love them,
right.
But I can't separate the two. Like, that's something that's like really important to me. My friends and my family.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
no, definitely. So I think when you're dating and you're really getting out there, you really got to keep in mind, like, is this healthy? You know, does this person give me energy or does he take energy? That's what I use in when I'm meeting people, and because I'm all about the energy. You know, you could feel like I think I went on this one coffee date. You know, I found let me just get out there and meet people, and girl, he looked bored for one. He was just kind of like da da da, and I'm like, and it was funny because when we were walking away, he tried to kiss me. And I was like, what? I like dodged him, and I'm like,
it's like the Matrix.
Yeah, for real. I couldn't believe it because he barely talked. And he was just seemed so uninterested, but still interested. Like, I mean, obviously, because he tried to kiss me. But
they don't care about dating you.
Yeah, it was just weird. And I'm like, is that how you do it? And he was like, well, if I'm attracted to him. I'm like, no, you don't I just met you. Like, people don't want, it's weird because they want to skip the getting to know a person.
I told you, I met a guy who the second time I saw him, he's like groping me with his eyes. And I'm like, okay, this is awkward. And then when he like went to hug me, I'm like, where are your hands? Like, why are you coming? Like, I feel like sometimes I can be the man in the relationship.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And what I mean by that is, like, I am very like, these are the facts. Like, doesn't need to be more, doesn't need to be less. Like, I don't like you. Have a nice life.
Yeah.
And I tend to find like men who will like keep calling or.
Girl, it's funny. For one, I never give him my real number. I have a fake number, just in case.
What is it, like a Google number?
Like a text now number.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I never thought.
Yeah, I would
that.
never give him my real number because right now you can like Google the number and you can find out everything you need to know about that person, like quick.
I mean, I own businesses.
Yeah.
My stuff is.
Me too,
all
but my
over the
personal
internet.
number, no, I'm not gonna give.
Yeah,
him
but
that.
with your name.
It doesn't have my name. I put an A at the end.
Oh,
I don't use the E. Yeah.
Well, don't give all the secrets.
Well, I am because, like I said,
I don't do online dating. So that is, there is a level of caution that you have to have with online dating.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with you either. Right. Because I had a bad experience. And even the second time around as like an adult now, there's just too much false information in online dating. And I'm just like, and I did meet some, I remember saying, if God wants me to meet someone, they're going to have to bring them to me at work and park them right in front of me with a neon sign that says, I sent you this.
Girl, I'm about to ask ChatGPT. I need you to find somebody. Nah. And then you put exactly like the whole thing. I mean, nah, I'm just playing.
ChatGPT is so compassionate.
Yeah,
Did you notice? Well, I don't know.
ChatGPT or AI dating, but you would have to put in your credit, your psychological test. You would have to do a STD test. You would have to do
all the things,
all the tests. Yes, I would want that, and then that would be amazing.
I casually dated a guy for like 2 years, right? Just like, I can't even call it like dating, but it was a while.
Yeah.
And just like months would go by when we wouldn't even speak.
Yeah.
Right. So it was nothing. It was like, I don't want to say it's nothing because one day he might see this episode, but like it was just a friendship. Let's call it that.
Right.
And one day he comes to me and he's like, I want something serious. And I'm like, inside, I'm watching him talk to me, and I'm like, you just had to ruin it. I was like, I'm probably never going to speak to you again.
Really? That bad?
Well, because it was just mismatched.
Okay.
Like, he wanted a full-fledged, like, committed relationship with me, and
You didn't want that.
I didn't want that.
Yeah. It is hard. I mean, like I said, I've been single now, and I don't feel bad at all. Being 47, a single mom, enjoying life. Like, I don't have no stress. I sleep very good at night, not thinking about any type of man problems, and just listening to my
son is going to keep me up at night.
Right, and listening to my friends' problems. I'm like, yeah. But I will be. I like I said, I will be going on more dates just because it gets me out of the house. It's fun.
Okay.
And let you guys know. But right now, I haven't met anybody that I could say this is somebody I would want to see.
How has parenting impacted like your dating journey?
So because I'm a single mom, I lunch date.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I meet him at lunch while, I have time. It's quick. And if I like him, then, maybe I'll go to dinner. But I haven't really got past the lunch date. It's just, but maybe like during the summertime, because my daughter's in school, I have a strict schedule. I'm not just able to take a lot of time during the week, and then the weekend I'm with her. But now that she's out, then we're gonna, see what Las Vegas does. I'm gonna try to get out there a little bit more just to meet people. I consider it networking, truthfully, because even if I'm not attracted to him and he's not my type, he might be a good person. He might be somebody to know. Or I've actually gotten clients that come in and get treatments, but that I wasn't even attracted to, but they were just good people. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about dating. It's just about meeting good people.
You're really good at that. You do talk like when we'll
you
go
do.
To, like,
you're good.
I've never met a stranger, but like you can really build, like you're friends with all the parents at the trampoline park. You're like, oh yeah, my daughter, and I'm like, dang, Diane, like you don't just have your headphones on when you're in here.
I try, but no, yeah, it is. It's fun to just, like I said, I'm not out there. I go to the gym, I go to the library, I go to the trampoline park. When am I going to meet people? When you live here, you don't want to go to the strip. Mm-mm. I did try. After I had my daughter, I said, I need to get out there. I need to meet people. I went to the club one time, girl. I was looking like, what am I doing here? And that was the last time I was at the club.
Listen, in college, we rolled in pretty deep, right? I was friends with the football team, and we had fun. But everywhere we went, we never went in general admission. It was always bottle service. Right. And so now as an adult, I'm like, you can't pay me to hang out in that crowded, and people are like,
I'm
ooh,
tired.
And stepping on I'm short. I'm getting like people
just
jamming into me. I'm
walking
like,
in heels.
I've gotten better as I've gotten older at walking in heels.
Oh no, see, I've gotten worse. I used to be able to walk in heels, and now I'm like, no.
Well, the flooring.
Yeah.
Because they have like all that decorative stuff, and your heels are like,
and
it's not just flat ground.
Yeah, expensive heels are not comfortable. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, we will. I'm gonna definitely get back with you guys and let you know if I meet anybody that's worth meeting. Because I know he's out there.
We could do a whole series just on
meeting guys. Oh, girl, I wish I could just. I told myself I would love to do like where I wear a camera and I go in like 10 or 15 dates and just, ask the craziest questions.
You don't even have to ask crazy questions. Some people just naturally give you
that too. But then also ask really like off the wall questions and see how they react. That would be funny.
Yeah. So before we close out, what tip do you have for our viewers out there that
with dating?
Are either dating or they haven't dated much?
I say know what you want, because there's a lot of people that go into relationships blindly and then they try to change it, and it's not, it doesn't work like that. You got to come into the relationship and express what you want, because they might not want that and you don't want to waste that time. You know what I mean? Or they might want some of it, and they might, and that's where you guys really need to figure out is like, what do you want? And if you even can fit into that category, because you can't go into a relationship changing people. The only way somebody's going to change is if they want to, and literally it's just, why even stress yourself out? And love yourself, know that you deserve to be treated good. Know that you deserve to get somebody that's gonna have your back in life, so I think that knowing what you want and really knowing what you deserve is very important. Don't ask for something that you're not willing to give too. People like have these high expectations but then aren't willing to give that back, so it's like, what are we doing here? It's kind of like one tracked. But yeah, what do you think?
I would say anyone who's dating, know yourself, know your worth, and know your flaws too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think it takes a high level of like self-discovery, what you like, what you don't like, mm-hmm. Where do you see yourself in life, so that as you're meeting new people, you can identify how they fit into your life. Yeah.
Well, this has been great. I love talking about this. Hopefully, I'll have some exciting news to tell you in about a month or so. We'll see.
Yes. All right. Until next time, this is The Strategic Shift with Diane and Priscilla.
Yes. Have a great night, day. Have a great life.
Like, subscribe, share.
Yes, please.